And
Hey,
is it me now?
I don't know. I'm afraid.
Are we never going to have a win?
Hello. Testing, testing.
Testing, testing. It's my usual.
What's going on with the audio? Hello, everyone. Not to neglect everyone who is joining us. Hey, Sandy, Heather, Kim.
Welcome, everybody.
Ready for 46 until tonight. It is you, Mar. Sorry.
Me? I think did it pass?
No, we'll see. It's fine. Yes, I think it's fine. Do you guys see? Do you guys hear any echo? If you do hear echo, please excuse our technical difficulties. As always, it's unplanned.
Welcome,
Hello,
everybody. So nice to see all these familiar names rolling in and some new ones. Thanks so much for joining us.
Palm Springs, Dallas, California. Woohoo!
We got
Sally is here. Sally is a prolific decorator. She already decorated your cookies, I think, the day after
yes,
last live on Friday.
she's very
Guys, you
prolific.
watched Friday live. Marlon did really adorable set of black cookies. Hello, Joseph. Hope you are doing well. Hello, Lynn.
Hello.
Ooh, Macedonia. That's a new one. Hello.
So welcome, everybody. Both sound fine. Thank you, Anne. Okay, so let's jump into it. So we discussed a few live streams ago. I don't remember when. It's all a blur, but we discussed buttercream cookies. So today that's what I've got on my workstation. So I made Haniela.
Let me do the camera dance. Oh, you matching. Look, she's matching her cookies.
I wore pink on purpose.
Oh, look at that.
So, Han, why don't you pop up your blog link so that they can.
Blog link is this is my blog. Those of you who don't know, hanielas.com, I share lots of yummy recipes there and also tutorials and also savory things. And Marlyn's been using my recipe for soft sugar cookies. This is a recipe that uses sour cream, and the cookies are on a soft. They're soft. They're like
I can say I didn't have sour cream, so I replaced it with yogurt, and it worked very well. Greek yogurt.
Oh, excellent! Greek yogurt. I have to update that. That you can also use Greek. Do you know was it fat free or was it regular?
It was regular, and it's like really thick. You know, the thick one.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
And so I used it, and they turned out great. This recipe, I looked on Pinterest. There's nothing quite like Han's recipe. They're very, very nice and soft. And I find that when you've got a buttercream decoration, it's like weird to bite into this nice soft buttercream and hit a crunchy cookie. It's my personal preference. I like the cakiness of this recipe. And so, yeah, so you can see here, I've made them. If you've been following the lives, I did a few stacked cookie versions. And so I did a stack. Now, you don't have to stack them. You can just do one layer. This is just an idea, okay? So here's a little trick. If you have trouble smoothing over your buttercream when you're decorating, one of the things that helps is to freeze your cookies. So if your cookies are frozen and then you add your buttercream, well, it's a lot easier to smooth it over because it's like automatically like sets when you pipe it on this frozen cookie. You can use your spatula and smooth it out very easily. And so I just add a quick swirl in the center like that, and you don't have to worry too much about the inside. Nobody's going to see that. Oh, Rebecca's saying she always uses yogurt. My hands are stained. I've got black food color on me. I couldn't get it off. So here it is. And I made these, and look at, they're very big on the cookie. I'm not sure I'm liking them because they're so big.
Like them. They're not that big.
No,
Is it all chocolate or did you fill them?
So no, I didn't fill them. I just wanted to have them for the video. So I got this mold and I really thought it was quite pretty. And then I added some powdered food color. I wanted to kind of like marble the red candy melts a bit. And it shows a bit, but not for me, but not on video. And then I tried to flip it out, and yeah, that's how easily the chocolates came out. So I banged and banged and
Did
banged.
you did you bang it really, really
Oh
on
my
the
God, I had to
table?
bang. Yes, I banged a lot for them to come out. I banged a lot, a lot, a lot. So yeah, it wasn't as easy as you see in the videos when they flip it over and boom, they're out. And then the other thing, I was experimenting with meringues because I wanted to add a little meringue thing. And I made some raspberry and I made some blackberry, and that's where the black food dye comes in. I added black food dye to the thing. I ate all the white ones, so I don't have the white ones left anymore. But
Huh.
so I didn't like the raspberry, but the blackberry is very good. The raspberry, I don't know, I didn't love it.
We do have a question. Where is your cutting board?
I didn't put the cutting board because I in case I need this footage for the fast videos on Facebook, I don't use the cutting board for that, and I don't have a lot of these cookies, and so that's why today, because we do sometimes recycle our footage for the fast videos that you see on Facebook, and so that's the why. So yeah, so you want to get, decorations on here that are proportionate to your cookie. So there's the meringues. And then I did find this sprinkles that I had. This is,
Oh,
kind of
yes.
nice colors.
Yes.
And then there's these by Hershey's. Hershey's has these heart kind of
Ooh.
chocolate chips. But what I was annoyed is that when they're in the bag and they rub up on each other, well, they're not shiny anymore. They're not as pretty.
Hmm.
The finish on them is a
Yeah.
little bit rough.
But do you think you could maybe use some dust to dust them, luster dust or something to
I,
make them shiny?
but pure perfectionist.
Well, actually, and I don't understand those hard molds instead of something flexible. They seem impossible. Actually, the hard acrylic molds they work very well with tempered chocolate. Very well. The shine of the chocolate, if the chocolate is correctly tempered and it sets, it should unmold easily.
Here, this is just Wilton, and you can see here
Yeah, it's
it
different
is
with
very
with
nice.
compound chocolate. If you had made them little baby cello, that would work. No.
Well, what happened is then the sides get the chocolate, and I think that's what was my problem. I'm not sure. Anyway, it was not a pleasant experience. So now that I've got my filled area in, now I'm just adding a ruffle. Now, if you can decorate in royal icing, you can certainly do buttercream. Okay, it's like remember Karate Kid, wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off. Why am I doing this? Well, if you've been piping with royal icing, you can do anything.
Wait, come again. I don't know what you're talking about. Please,
Karate Kid.
please
Karate Kid.
elaborate.
I did. I put it in the freezer, Carol. I froze
Oh,
it. I
really?
did
It still didn't do the trick.
It wouldn't come out. Anyway, so now I've got a 104 and I'm just adding a little ruffle on the edge. I did 2 shades of pink. This is a color by Rainbow Dust. It's the same gel for the light and the dark. It's called Claret.
Oh,
It's
I
a
love
very,
the claret. You know it. You know how my affinity towards that color.
yes, it
Beautiful.
is. So I'm just doing a zigzag, you see here, adding this ruffle along the edge like that. So maybe that's why.
Yes, I gotta watch a lot of things. We don't have. I mean, now we have a TV, but I'm not. I don't miss it. We
So
haven't had a TV for
I'm
two
gonna
years.
try to put the
Oh, I
flower
like it.
here, and
Oh,
and I'll rest one of the rosettes over it. So I'm gonna be on this angle to do it. So I'm just gonna do like a rosette kind of on top of it like that, so that it's
is
not.
this American buttercream or what kind of buttercream are you
It
working with?
is American buttercream. So there, that's not too bad.
I like it.
And then while your buttercream is freshly applied, because it's not long that these little sprinkles don't stick anymore, they kind of like just fall off. You want to add your little sprinkles to your.
Well, Heather, I like both, but I haven't had wine in like 6 months. Not that I'm counting, but I just didn't feel like it. It is beautiful. I love it. I really, really, really like it.
Do another one. So it's just a different, I do the royal icing all the time, and it's just to give you guys another kind of option, right? So you don't have to do the filling. I'm just doing it because I like the idea of having kind of like a mini cake. And the thing is
Well,
Valentine's Day.
somebody's calling it sandwich things.
Yes, and the day of love, well, all you have to do is break apart your sandwich, hand one of the cookies to your better half, and you get
Exactly.
one and they get one. So you get a whole cookie instead of half a cookie.
Everybody's loving it. Yes, buttercream definitely tastes better.
It's
Well, I
just,
mean, I do like the royal icing too, but buttercream is soft.
yes. And so again, I'm just doing, you see it's an S motion. And
Well,
if you have trouble with your buttercream, because I'm decorating a frozen cookie, it sets up right away. And it just really, if you've struggled with smoothing it out and stuff, you'll see that it just makes it that much easier to smooth out your icing.
Sandy recipes on my blog, and this is the blog. Oops, sorry, this is the blog. It's soft sugar cookies. You can just type it into the search.
And I'm pretty sure you also have an American buttercream recipe if they want to
Yes,
search.
I do have American buttercream recipe, but I also wanted to. There is another question. Linda is asking if these can be safely packaged without flattening the icing.
Well, it all depends on what the packaging is. Because if you're putting them in a bag, I don't think that it will be a success. But if you have cute boxes, yes, I think so. There's cute, like little kind of clamshell boxes that would work nicely. Oh, I don't have my hamburger boxes, but this would work in my
Oh yeah,
hamburger.
hamburger box, it would work. Or sometimes if you want to, like, let's say wedding, talking about the wedding or birthday or something, acetate boxes.
Yeah,
They would.
those hamburger boxes are really not expensive. And it's biodegradable. The acetate boxes are nice, but the hamburger one, it's just cardstock. Any other similar to a cupcake?
It
Yes,
was
exactly.
me, Jeremy, who hasn't seen it. How do you? Yes.
I mean, is he asking about the hamburger box?
Can I add meringue powder to my buttercream? No, meringue powder is going to, unless you really trust. I know sometimes meringue powder can be used to stabilize things, but meringue powder also has a taste, particular taste. So if you
Hmm.
add too much of it, it can, because there is cream of tartar, so there is like a little sourness. So be careful.
There it is.
Oh, hey June, I'm so glad you haven't seen it either. How well do soft cookies ship? Now these, have you shipped these? I have not.
No, I mean, everything has its application. I think this is something you would, you know, have locally. I don't think you would ship these. The hamburger boxes, I bought them locally and entertain them. I'll go get one to show them.
Oh, okay. Well, what does that mean, entertain? I'm just gonna see. Okay, everybody's loving it. Yes. Yes, I have not seen Karate Kid. So the recipe, like I said, it can be found on my blog. It's a soft sugar cookie recipe. The cookies after you bake them, they do stay soft. Dance. Yes, I do love to dance. Yes, that is a good idea. I was
So I
tempted.
couldn't find it, of course, easily. But they're using these hamburger boxes recently. I've seen them used for the mini cakes. And so this is essentially a mini
I
cake.
do have a hamburger box somewhere. It's with the printed hamburgers on it. So next time I'm gonna have to have some entertainment ready here. We'll do some quiz
Yes.
something when you have to. It's beautiful when you have to leave.
Where am I?
I like it a lot. I like the pop of red in there. I have to say.
Yeah, I mean the meringues are I was trying to actually make panda meringues and it was a fail. And then I just used up my leftover black making these little dots. But I think it would have been nicer if they were white or something. But the point of this is to give you guys a little inspiration of how quickly you can put together some Valentine's Day
I'm
cookies.
thinking they had what is the bag called? Faucet, whatever the. the English word for the bag with the the poly bag with the expandable sides.
Oh, the gusset.
Gusset faucet, gusset bag. Imagine if you have you create a with the cardstock. They sell all kinds of nice cardstock. If you create a little, almost like a shelter for it, without the roof. Maybe if you can nest it in there, and then you put this in, and then you can close it without the bag actually touching your buttercream. That would be like a.
If you go on AliExpress, there I found they have all kinds of packaging options on AliExpress, and they actually have these different size little plastic dishes, if you will, like a little bowl. So you measure, find the ones that works for you, and then they have like a bag that's like you just slide that little container in, and then you buy another thing that's really not expensive. It's a heat little thing to seal it. It's like $4 or $5, and then it becomes kind of like a store-bought cake package, and that's an option there. And they're clear, and so because they have all kinds of thick desserts, the Asian, like little moon pie or little things that they have. So it's like it needs a thicker.
This would be in a square box. Like you have 4 or maybe set of 2. Like yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of different packaging ideas or packaging options now.
Yeah,
Even now, if you look at Michael's or different craft stores, they do have different
but
boxes.
it's not anything I'd ship, that's for sure.
These no, but I would take them with me. Yeah, they are really pretty.
So that's it for me today. Are you ready, Han, to wow them?
Well, I'm not singing, so you don't want me to sing. Maybe
There we go.
ABC. So what am I doing? Oh, okay. So today. All right, I'm trying to find my cutter. Okay, so I don't know, guys. Do you guys remember this cutter? Last month I used it twice, I think. So I had some cookies left over, and I was looking at this cutter, and I'm like, well, not cutter. I mean, I was looking at it, and I'm thinking, what could I do with it? I don't want to throw them out. I don't want to do another dough because I've done like 5 of those. So I came up with this concept of doing a Bohemian style Valentine's Day arrow. And so I don't normally ice my cookies and then add a heavy decorating on the top. Like, you know what I mean by heavy?
Yes,
I mean this hard that it's completely like going over the white. But in this case, I did it. So I already iced this cookie. This is obviously white, and it's partially crusted, almost dry. I don't have a video of showing how to do that, but I think you guys know how to do it. Do you? Do you guys know how to flood? Oh, AliExpress. What's going on in the comments?
Oh, they're talking about AliExpress. So that cutter, my heart cutter, is Anne Clark. I think it's like a 3-inch. It's not a big cookie. Like it's just a good portion size.
So I'm using a little template here. So my hearts would be the same, because if you want to make more of the same cookie, it's ideal to have some kind of a template. Okay. So, and this is, oops, this is
What
black.
What did you use to ice the cookies?
I used royal icing, and I'm trying to locate my brown edible marker. Oh, well, I can't find my brown. I had it today. Oh, here it is. It's royal icing, and royal icing, those of you, I don't know if anyone on the call doesn't know, but we generally decorate with royal icing. Marlyn today used buttercream because you guys were asking for some buttercream decorating. But royal icing is basically egg whites or meringue powder, which are dried egg whites with some other additives like cream of tartar.
So Sandy's saying she's saying there's something wrong with her royal icing recipe, that it takes days for her icing to dry. Could be other things, Sandy.
If it takes days to dry, it's usually like what kind of flavoring are you adding? Does it have oil in it?
Yes, or maybe there's oil residue on
Or
your
what kind of food coloring are you using? Is it
oil based or
oil based? All usually causes long drying time, or unless you live in a very humid area, or maybe if your icing is super runny, it will, and you add too much food coloring. Now you can do. Let's see. I'm going to do this step first. Yes, you
yes,
can. You yes.
generally yes, Candice, but every cookie has to be kind of looked at individually because not all decoration does well in the freezer. If you're adding, let's say, sprinkles or airbrush, once the cookie comes out of the freezer, it's often going to have condensation, and that moisture can damage the finish if you've painted stuff on it or if you've used a marker on it. These types of
Yes. Sprinkles maybe also affected, right?
yeah, black pearl eyes. No, no, no. Yeah, so every cookie is not the same. I have not seen the Encanto, but the song, one of the songs is on the top, like in the top songs.
Now I decided to just now to make it a bit more interesting. So, what is the Karate Kid about? I guess it's about the kid that plays karate or does karate, not plays. So I'm using this is a jewel dust. I just decided to do it now. It's pink. I don't know if you can see. I just wanted to have a little bling on here. This is what it looks like. You want to hold this like it's gold, because it's so expensive. Plus, also, if it gets on everything. This little
Yes,
bottle is like $8 or something, and this is
yeah,
brand the Sugar Art. It's 100% edible food coloring. It's made with. I'm pretty sure there are mica. Yes, ingredients mica. Those are the shiny particles. And so you can use this on your royal icing, and also on can they use it on buttercream? I think on buttercream as well. It will add some shimmer to your design. I don't know if you can see how shiny that is. Okay,
so
so now I'm gonna do another one because this one has the crust.
so for the royal icing, I don't recommend that you use that on a frozen cookie. The buttercream is different, so let your cookies thaw before using royal icing. So if you guys want to look through the past lives, you can see Han decorate this cookie as a girl, like wearing a winter coat. It was supposed to be Mrs. Claus, but I think she is also a nice nomette.
Yes, and I have also Anna from Frozen, and also Elsa from Frozen, and also another like a winter doll. I have like five of them.
But that's not in the lives. That's in
That's not
your
no. In live, it's a Christmas doll, right? With a
yes.
red and white coat. Yes,
So if they want to watch the others, is that on YouTube?
that's on YouTube. Yes, correct. That is on YouTube.
Bye, June.
Bye, June. I'm so ready for the weekend. I know the week just started, but I'm just so ready for the weekend. I feel like Friday should be here already.
Well, everybody here in well, kind of like I guess it's Ontario, Quebec, parts of New York. I'm guessing Vermont got hit with a big snowstorm. We got
Oh,
a lot of snow. Well, I sent you some video, right? You saw it.
yes,
You're
you have a
sending
lot.
me you're sending me videos of the sun and the ocean, blah blah blah, and then I'm sending you
Yes,
my
we went on a lovely. We don't go often because I have to work a lot, but we still are doing a lot of things in the house. But we went on a little. I mean, it was a lighthouse. What surprised me, right, and also you, the lighthouse wasn't a tall lighthouse because it's already on the mountain. So the lighthouse, it just had the top part with the light, and we can see the lighthouse from the house. Yes, they could be actually. They could be. So today, so now I'm going to show you. I want to have a little writing here, love, here. And if you don't have a projector, I don't have a projector. I've never worked with projector. And you want to have the same placement or similar placement of your writing on all of your cookies without, I mean, I don't know if anyone can do it just without any kind of guide, but I can't. Okay, I just can't. Maybe you can, maybe Mark can, but I just can't do it without any kind
Oh,
of
I
guide.
like your little paper. If your paper is there, that's very helpful. Your little paper with the hole.
So what I did, I used the cutter, obviously. I used the cutter. This is a cardstock. And I determine where the center is because I want this to be centered. Okay. And this is where I'm supposed to fit the word love. Okay. And we're going to attempt to do it. I'm going to attempt to do it, or should I do it on a box paper first?
I mean, you know. So we have a question here from Carrie. What do you think is a good minimum? Like, if you're gonna turn on your oven and you're gonna make cookies, like, what's the minimum?
I don't know what a good minimum cookie should I say for orders. Well, at least a dozen.
I mean, that's for sure. Yes.
At least a dozen is the minimum. I know some people will ask for 2 cookies. Well, that's like, unless you are a full, bakery where you have your cookies displayed. If you are doing it, baking it to order, yeah, at least minimum dozen. Depending, like I said, depending how busy you are and things like that. If you are busy, you can. But
Yes. The
minimum a dozen.
storm of '98 and remember it well. Nicole, this is not chocolate. This is called royal icing. You can look up recipes or you can visit Han's blog. Let me put up the link for you. If you visit her blog, you'll find the recipe for that icing that she's using, okay? So, Shanna, I think that you're doing from a photo, a person's face. I actually did my husband's face a few, I guess it's a few years ago, at least 1 year ago. And if you send me a direct message on Facebook, I'll send you that video so you can kind of see it and see my process and you can understand. This is a difficult thing for me to just answer in this, right now. It's a tricky one, faces. The snow wasn't bad for you, Jeremy? Yeah, 2 dozen is about right, I think. But if you're a beginner and you're trying to build your reputation and your portfolio, I think you have to kind of like you know what I mean? Like a dozen is, I mean, you just at the beginning, you have to be a little bit more flexible. Once you get established, then you can kind of have more strict guidelines or rules.
I'm going to let it crust now. And I also got my heart here. This is a heart I did with just all white.
Yes, her template is a good idea.
Yes, thank you. Okay, here we go.
Don't you have a few other, you have a few videos, reminded that what you were using, your template. There's a few videos on YouTube where they can see you using your writing.
It was a template for I think it was a thank you cookies, and then also bridal shower wedding cookies. Those were a bit more with a square cookie, I think, and it was also a template with and baby shower too. I think I used a template like this, where you use a cutout. Basically, I struggle with centering things, or having it like on 20 cookies in the same spot. So how do you do it without the projector? For me, it's very difficult. I don't know if you can do it, but this does help quite a bit, and it speeds up the process, so you don't have to second guess yourself. Oh, is it centered? Is it where I want it to be? Is it going to look good? So the template works, and it's just cardstock, and I used X-Acto knife to cut it out and scissors, so that's super easy. That is hard. It's also I was going for a Bohemian style, and I'm sure you've seen those everywhere. They're still very popular. So it's just going to be simply decorated with some circles, with some lines. And this cutter, it's a cutter. I don't know if I have it here. I'm trying to look, but I should probably be looking at my piping. It's built on, I think. I think you probably have it too. Oops, little boo boo here. I'm trying to see if I have it here. I don't think I do have.
But I mean, it's a pretty common shape. I know Anne Clark has two. One with like a more pointed corner, like a 45 corner, and then they have one like this, which is a little bit more kind of a curve towards the, like in.
Yes, I do like it when it's a little curved at with the very point.
The one with the 45 can be used to actually make a flower platter. So you make 4 cookies, and then you could do a round cookie for the center, and you can make a flower platter.
Oh, now I'm going to do this. And don't worry, it's not perfectly following the outline. If you look at the Bohemian hearts, they have all kinds of designs. So now I'm just changing the icing so it heals, so I don't have any bumpy areas. This was on a thicker side. You don't want to use icing that is too runny in a small section like this because you'll have cratering. And also banging it like that is going to help the icing to settle.
You're right, Anne. I mean, there's so many different. I mean, I have a bin full of heart cutters. You too, Han? Do you have two?
I have 2 pins. Yes, of course.
There's so many different versions. Also, a nice heart with a scallop is pretty. How much for a personalized cookie?
Ooh. Do you have to create a stencil for that?
I mean, are you saying, like, let's say a dozen hearts with each name different? Is that what you mean? Personalized, like what degree of personalized? Personalized all the same 12? Personalized all different 12? Here, Emily's asking, when you're working on your outlines, do you look ahead a bit of where you are going or directly where the icing is dropping?
I like to look well. I wasn't really looking here because I was looking for the cutter, but normally I look where I'm lifting off and I'm dropping the icing. I like to. Oops, you can see my hand. I like to use the index finger on my other hand to kind of guide you. You can then do. Oh, what am I doing? I'm putting on my surface here. But I do like to look where it's landing. But then you have to also, if you're doing a larger cookie, you have to look where you're going, obviously. You have to look at the bigger picture. When you're doing the live, it's a bit difficult because the angle is a little off.
Yes.
It's not my normal angle, how I normally decorate. So it's a little
Yes,
different.
those are great shapes. Okay, so Carrie, let's address this. So you've got a potential job to make cookies, and they want all different names. So you need to make a decision. How comfortable are you writing all these different names? How much prep is this going to take you? If you're not comfortable and you have to start making 12 different templates, well, maybe you want to price it so that they say no. You know what I mean? Like sometimes.
It's funny that you say that, but oftentimes when you price it really high, they say yes.
Well, then fine, then fine. But if you have to do a lot of prep and you're not able to do a lot of freehand where you can just crank it out, and it then becomes actually you're losing money because you can't take another job that would be a little faster. Sometimes it's not worth taking, but I would charge probably $1 extra just, to deter the order.
Well, what if you use the marker? Would they be, I would offer them options maybe. You could also offer, like, say, well, this could be done with a marker at this price, like, I don't know,
Yes,
depending
but
on
I'm
like,
saying,
if you are already,
but it's somebody's level of comfort writing on cookies. Not everybody's comfortable. So if you have to prepare a lot of templates and prepare a lot of stuff,
yeah,
then it's, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're comfortable and you can crank it out, then great. Then it's not a problem. But if you need a lot of prep, I'm not, it's a different story.
yes.
Yeah, I think Lindsay here, how do you maintain the consistency of icing from day to day? When decorating Christmas cookies, the first day the consistency was perfect. Second day it was thin, and I got cratering.
Yes, well, icing separates. That's a normal occurrence. What happens when you are thinning the icing, you're adding liquid to it. You're adding liquid to the thick mass of powdered sugar and meringue powder and a little bit of water. So that water will separate. And sometimes, like even now, I'm decorating and like this is separating. And you can tell that it's separating. You see the darker spots. In white icing, it will be yellowish liquid in your bag. So what would probably happen for you in the bag when you were squeezing it out next day, all the separated liquid was coming out. So that's why it was very runny. So you need to either massage the bag, or sometimes there is no other thing to do, but you have to squeeze it out into a little bowl and remix it with a spoon or a spatula. What would you say, Mar?
Well, the thing is, discussed in the past, is ingredients are not standard. I'm in Canada, Han's in Spain. She used to live in the United States. She can attest to the difference in the ingredients from the United States to Spain. And I don't have the separation issue. My icing does not separate.
Oh, it doesn't?
No,
No.
it does not.
It does not separate.
Maybe after a week, but certainly not after a day. And so ingredients vary. I could not find one time my meringue powder that I love. I bought a different kind. My icing was different. And so the ingredients are a factor.
Maybe there is some kind of a stabilizer in your meringue powder. Maybe there is like an added stabilizer that.
Maybe.
Oh, that's
But mine doesn't separate.
Well, I mean, in the bag, once you have it mixed, once you have it colored, in the bag, it doesn't separate?
No.
Oh, you're lucky. Oh, that's interesting.
That's great. I don't know.
Maybe it's powdered sugar. I don't know. I have no idea.
Our powdered sugar is very nice here, I have to say. There's no sugar particles.
So you have, oops. So I did two of these. One is pink, one is white.
Super pretty.
So now we can go back to the
Thank you. Thanks for joining us. Glad you enjoy it.
So now I'm just going to, I let it crust so I can add more dots. And if you're looking for inspiration for Bohemian style, you can just type in Bohemian Valentine's Day or Vector or something like that. And you'll see a lot of different.
That's right, Diana. Thanks, Chantal.
Do you know what you're doing on Friday?
What I'm doing on Friday, I might be doing a piñata cookie.
Oh, that's exciting. Super exciting. How much would you charge for this cookie? Arm and a leg? So I'm doing it really like slow, and we also have to remember like during the live, like I said, it's different because I can't really work as fast as we would, right? Because the angle you're trying to show things. Um, um,
I mean, the thing is,
I don't know. I
yeah,
don't know.
we
I
haven't,
haven't sliced cookies in
yeah.
so long. This is terrible. But okay, so I'm only using white for the base, so that's not a whole lot of color. And then there's a little bit of black. How big is it? Let's see how big is this? Okay.
I say a fast number, $4.
Yeah, I was gonna say 354, but this is
So, do you find that the heat from your hand causes anything with regards to the consistency?
heat from the hand. Yes, if I hold the bag for a long, long time, the heat from my hand will, for whatever reason, it will liquefy the icing a little bit. Not like seriously, but
It
if you're
impacts.
working with, yeah, it does. I think it does impact it. Yes.
So, Rose, my meringue powder is a local brand. I have looked, it's not available online. It's a company called Berthellet. It's made in Quebec here. And if you're not local, I'm sorry, I don't think you'll be able to get your hands on it. So, like we said, $354. I missed the joke. I'm guessing this was stars. Thank you, Cindy, if you sent us some stars. The
Thank
blank
you.
comments are usually a star. Is this coming Friday? Oh, Friday. Is Amber joining us on Friday? Is it this week or next week? I think it might be next week she's joining us.
I think on the 28th. I have to
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
I think it's the 28th.
Camille is loving your cookie. They're both lovely.
Thank you. I wish this was a bit finer line, but I wanted to have the same line as my letter. So that's the only thing I don't quite like.
A piñata? Actually, I did a piñata shark cookie and I whacked it with my rolling pin.
And I did a piñata August. If you look in live in August, right? I did actually two piñatas that I used the rolling pin to break them. One was for Mars' birthday, and one was for Amber's birthday.
Yeah, Kim, I think
Oh,
she's not, it's not this week. It's next week Amber's going to be back. Yeah, I'm looking at the 28th. I think it's next Friday.
28th is next Friday.
So, Rose, maybe you could get it in Toronto. Maybe Berthellet ships there. Not sure. You could look it up. They have a website. They sell all kinds of stuff. They make all kinds of so it's a huge box, and they sell like restaurant size products like soup mix, gravy mix, that kind of stuff.
Mm. Well, yes. You have to study though. You have to study your demographic though, also because
Yes.
sometimes it's not. I remember when I was selling in the area where I people had money. Let's just be honest, they had money. They did not want to pay. And then the area where people, when it wasn't so luxurious or whatever, then people paid, which was like I don't know why that mentality, but it was just my observation from the time when I was selling years ago.
Hold on, she's asking. I'm gonna. So I don't think you can click the link, but I'll put it in here and you can look them up. That's them. That's the meringue powder.
To the meringue powder.
Yeah.
Interestingly, it really it's like
Where is Jeremy? Yes, Jeremy, this is true. If you guys want to check it out, Sweet Sugar Belle has a chart. It's
Yes,
from a few years back,
yes, it's 10 years old. It's almost 10 years old.
but she has things to obviously look at that she addresses, like your ingredient costs, all that. So you want to look at, it's a good
10 years ago, and now the ingredients are even going to go up. Even here, I think it was 20-30% groceries and things like that.
Yeah.
Electricity is going up, so you have to kind of calculate. That's the thing. Everything changes, so you have to, like, we may be even like underselling what we said, right? The pricing wise, because we haven't sold cookies. I don't even know how much the cookie dough. I mean, first you have to start. How much does it make? How much does it cost to make the cookie dough with the ingredients you are using? Start with, then you have to go to the store to get the ingredients. You're using your car. You're using gas, your time, and then your mixer uses electricity, and then you have to wash the dishes, wash the cutters, the dishwashing
Well,
soap. So
yeah, you
everything
want
kind of
to, yeah, and you want
costs.
to think about your time as valuable. Like if you're having to do your housework and you're, losing money doing cookies, well, you're kind of in the hole, right? Because you have things that you need to do. So if you're going to give somebody your time, it has to be worth it.
So is it hard to use meringue powder? Lori, it's not hard to use meringue powder. Absolutely not. You can use fresh egg. Yes, a lot of people use fresh egg whites. Just make sure that they are from a credible source, because what we are concerned about is the salmonella. That's all. It's some kind of a ghost haunting the life today. Our stores are low or out of powdered sugar. Yes, I'm sorry to hear that, Kim. Here it's very difficult to get good quality powdered sugar. Very difficult. I can imagine maybe it will be, I don't know, not a permanent situation, but maybe you can stock up if you are a business. Powdered sugar lasts for a couple of years.
Yeah, I mean,
Right?
inventory issues. If you're in a business, like you want to plan maybe well in advance of Christmas, well in advance of your holidays, so that you're, ready. For example, I heard there was going to be shortages because of like a plastic, piping bags. So,
Yeah,
these are things.
yes, I think there's also here in Spain they're saying that the glass is going to go up, and every wine bottle, it's going to affect the cost of wine, I think too.
Oh, that's terrible. The cost of wine.
How am I going to survive? Well, thank you.
Thanks for joining us and watching.
I use dried egg whites and add cream of tartar. Yes, you can also, yes.
The
Yes,
thing
there are other ways you guys can make meringue royal icing. Obviously, I mean it's from in the beginning people used egg whites, fresh egg whites. That's how it's made. Egg whites and powdered sugar, a little bit of lemon juice to stabilize the egg whites and to also help maybe battle the bacteria. I don't know, but the amount of
well,
sugar.
you can boil it, like, the double boiler, to get it to the temperature so that you
Yeah,
kill the.
yeah, you can, but it's yes, but it's not that easy.
Well, I'm
It
not
has,
saying
it
easy.
has to it has to stay. I don't know. I haven't done it myself, but it has to stay at the temperature for a certain amount of
I,
time.
I hear you, but the thing is if you don't do it and you risk making people sick, like,
Well, yes,
salmonella is a
yes.
thing.
I mean, in the United States, I think all the eggs they go through a process, but here they don't. They
Oh,
actually the eggs are sold at room temperature.
hi,
Room
Joyce.
temperature, and they're not washed. I don't. I mean, maybe they are, but you see, bits of straw and such things. So
Yeah, they sell the pasteurized egg whites. The thing that I don't like about it is that you have to use it within a certain amount of time, right? So if you're not making a ton, then
well, the
you're.
pasteurized eggs you have to use by the yeah. Well, yes, but pasteurized eggs they have a stamp. So if you're really specifically looking for those, you have to ask because not all the grocery stores carry those. But you can get a carton of pasteurized egg whites. But those tend to the oral icing made with those can cause bleeding.
Oh, Well, that's it. I like my meringue powder. It's there, it's dry. I just spoon it in, it's ready. I'm not throwing away my yolk because often, like, I mean, right?
Yes. Today I had it was the first time I used my big mixer, and I made meringue. I made royal icing, and for whatever reason, I remember a few lives ago somebody was saying that their royal icing is yellow. So mine was yellow. Like I was like, what is going on? And it's been a while since I used the mixer. Because when I use a handheld mixer, I guess it's a lot faster. So as I was whipping it, it was going back to that white. So yeah, I guess it needs to be whipped for a little bit with the stand mixer. But I completely forgot because it's been what 2 years since I last used the stand mixer.
Yes. Well, that's it. We get into our habits. So that's it, guys. Thanks so much for joining us today. We'll be back on Friday. Are you working on Valentine's Day on Friday?
I don't know what I'm doing yet.
Oh,
It's too early to ask.
too early. Here,
I don't
what?
know. I don't know.
How?
Maybe you get a cookie cutter and then make a stencil for detail with particular cookie cutter. Now, well, depending on if you are like Marmar is making her own stencils. When I make my stencils, I usually well, I don't know if I'm understanding the question. Do you like? I have to show. It's hard to explain what I'm trying to say. I have to show it next time, maybe.
So initially, you're tracing your cookie cutter on a paper. Make
Yes.
yourself a template. And
Hmm.
so you need a template, and you usually it's your design. You have to make it.
Yes. And then if I have to, let's say I'm airbrushing and I use a cardstock, I will cut out, let's say this shape. I want, I don't know, facial features or whatever, a bow. So I will cut it out, and then I will cut out my cookie, my shape from cardstock, but I will leave few flaps here and there. Let's say four, I would leave. And then I secure because the placement. How do you do it with the cardstock if it's a square? You don't see under unless you can see through the paper. So then I secure my stencil with magnets on top, and then you're ready to go. That's like the primitive stenciling, not a fancy, laser cut or something like that stencil. So
Yeah.
just
Or if you're good at drawing, you can kind of give yourself a rough guideline on your cookie with a marker. That's another option.
yes.
So thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you on Friday for maybe a piñata cookie, and Han's going to surprise us.
Okay. Oops.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.